going, everybody? And welcome to the Tuesday, August 28th, 2012 edition of WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark, he's Matt Boone, and we're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking some pro wrestling. We have Monday Night Raw from last night. Pretty quiet weekend with no pay-per-views, nothing like that going on. So we're going to be taking your live phone calls in hour number 2. And basically talking, we're going to get into mid-card frustration and what's going on, how they're jobbing guys out these days, and it's just crazy, man. They're basically taking shots at these guys on live TV on a weekly basis, so we're going to get into that. Who wants to leave WWE? There's a couple of divas that are thinking about possibly leaving the company if something's not done, and a lot of the guys that are pissed off as well, so talk about all that, Monday Night Raw from last night, and all the other good stuff. Matty Boone, what's going on? We're a little bit late, but what are you going to do, man? We'll get into that here in just a second, but we're here nonetheless, right?
Yeah, I don't still know exactly why. You told me a little bit, so I guess I have an idea, but I don't think it was a quiet weekend because the Jon Jones thing was fucking running like wildfire all weekend. I mean, you've been following that, right?
Well, that broke on Thursday, right? Last Thursday or Friday. I mean, we'll get into that, dude, because we don't have a lot to talk about tonight. We got Monday Night Raw, like I said, and then, you know, the whole, we'll talk about the whole UFC 151 thing where I think Dana overreacted a little bit and, canceled the entire pay-per-view, which is crazy because, a lot of people, people don't realize it's not just one fight. There's guys on the prelim card, there's guys on the main card that are all out of payday, all the people that, clubs and things like that line up after parties. A lot of people are out of money when a pay-per-view is canceled, so it's crazy, man.
It really boils down to one question needs answered, which is who's more to blame for the cancellation of 151? Is it Jon Jones or is it the UFC, namely Dana White? Because Jon Jones did turn down, decline the fight with Chael Sonnen, which was offered to him on short notice.
Yeah.
But he had a full training camp. He was healthy. He could have. Normally, this happens all the time. Guys get injured the week of the fight, and they throw a replacement guy at the champion. In this case, Jon Jones. And usually the guy will take the fight because he's been training for 10 weeks. He's in the best shape he could possibly be in. He's ready to fight. Chael Sonnen hasn't been training, so it's like everything's weighed in his favor. He could have taken the fight. It would have been a probably bigger fight, Chael Sonnen, Jon Jones, than Jon Jones, Dan Henderson, because of the smack talk Sonnen would have done.
Yeah.
And he turned it down. Because of that, I think it's more Jon Jones' fault than UFC. But at the same time,
let me all right. Hold off on that. Hold on. We're gonna get into it. All right. Let me get all the plugs and stuff out of the way, and then we'll come back to we'll talk Monday Night Raw, and then we'll do like a whole segment based off UFC 151. Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen, the whole thing. We'll run it down.
It's the first time we ever canceled an event. More than anything, before you do plugs, you gotta. What the hell are we starting the show 20 minutes late for? What happened?
All right, here's the deal. Basically, I haven't talked to you all week. The last time I talked to you was Tuesday, right? Last Tuesday night when we went off the air here. That was it, man. You're a hard guy to get a hold of these days, with the whole computer situation and everything else, So I hadn't talked to you.
Up, but yeah.
Right. Well, no, you hit me up on yesterday? Yesterday and said, "Are you mad, dude? Are you mad I haven't talked to you all week? Get the fuck out of here. I was busy yesterday. I couldn't talk to you.
All week. I missed 2 days. I missed 3. The Sunday I was trying to work, but the computer died. I actually had a gallery upload, but then while it was in the middle of uploading, the fucking internet died on me. But anyway, so we've been busy. You've been busy.
You saw my galleries, right? The Lacey Von Erich 120 bikini photo. Yeah, buddy, huh? I'm doing work too.
I seen you trying to do my job over there.
Yeah.
You think you're Matt Boone? You're not Matt Boone.
Fuck out. You're not Ryan Clark, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
All right, so check it out, man. I hadn't talked to you, all week, and basically we come on here. It's the same setup every Tuesday night, right? We come on here, we put the live stream up, play a little bit of music, come on here, do a 2-hour talk show, bada bang, bada boom, we're done, right? And
but people don't realize we don't talk at all about the show ever. And even when we are keeping in contact, not once does the show come up ever. We just get on the air, 8 o'clock Tuesday night, and the next 2 hours is us just figuring it out.
And we
top of our head.
Right. There's no game plan. We never have a game plan or anything like that. We just kind of go, man. 8 o'clock Eastern time, bang, put up the stream and go with it. And I come on, everything was ready to go. I actually made the post. I put it up on all the websites, all 27 websites that I report at, right? And because you've got to put it's an embed code that you put on so that people can listen to the show. A lot of people don't come to the chat room. They listen to the show. Only the show and don't participate in the chat, blah, 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 blah. So I put everything up, and then I got to the chat, and they said, hey, the live stream, it's been terminated because I guess, I don't know, dude, I don't know. So basically, somebody registered this account, the Justin.tv account, and I guess they aired DVDs or something throughout the week. I don't know what they do during the week. I have no idea, man. All I know is I come on here, I put the stream up on a Tuesday night, and bang, we do a radio show. But I guess they were airing DVDs or something like that, so they must use the stream or had been using the stream on us during a weekly basis. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, I came and there was a DVD and Justin.tv shut us down. And then with that being said, you got to go and you got to register a new Justin.tv account, and then you've got to take the embed code. It's not just registering a new account, putting the stream up. You've got to get that embed code. You've got to go update or edit all the news posts that I put up on the website with the new embed code, and you got to do it on the chat page. It's a process, man. It takes a while. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go and I had to register a new Justin.tv account. Then I had to put the embed code on all the websites, and then when I'm doing it, I fucked up the code on the chat page, so the chat room wasn't working, and I don't know. I set it up. It's gonna work for tonight. I gotta go after the show goes off the air. I'm gonna have to go and look at the HTML that I fucked up. So I got the stream up, and then I have the chat room. Instead of the chat, like you got the stream on the left-hand side, and then you got the chat room on the right-hand side. Well, right now the stream's on top, and the chat room's below it. So there's just a little tiny code that I got to mess with after we go off the air. But it's cool. We're good to go.
Basically saying you're a professional thumb person. Put that aside.
No, I'm a smart person. I just did all that. I'm a smart bro. I registered a new Justin.tv account. The only thing I fucked up is the chat page. I'm smart.
Okay, you copied the codes, and then the one code you needed to do yourself, you fucked up. All right, I got all that.
I'm a smart guy, Boone. I'm a smart guy.
Very intelligent man. I will back that up. But does that mean if somebody's running DVDs on the old stream, right? If somebody's running DVDs on the old stream that we had, that means somebody else had to log in. I'm assuming this time only you're going to have to log in, so this doesn't happen again?
I have the login now, so this won't happen again. We're good. I'm not going to be doing DVDs or anything like that.
You produce it yourself now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Vendetta was playing some pre-show music. I think it was playing a DVD this week or something, and that's what got us booted or something. There's always that one guy, you know what I mean? Like, say Vendetta goes and he plays a DVD. There's always that one douchebag, and it happens on the websites, like in the comments section. There's always that one guy, oh, Ryan, you suck. Ryan, your site sucks. But everything about you sucks. But you're still reading the website. It's that one douchebag that, oh, they're streaming a DVD. Let's go tattle. Let's go tell Justin.tv. And then they shut us down. You know, there's always that one douchebag that tries to fuck it up for everybody else. You know what I'm saying, dude? It's like, shut up, dude. Get a life.
It's either one of the douchebags like that, or Justin TV has like a team of people that come through some of the live streams, especially one like ours, which has a lot of traffic, especially at an exact day and time every week where they can check. Maybe that guy.
Well, dude, I'm constantly banning people that come on the website, and they go to the comments section, and like I said, you suck, your website sucks, everything you report sucks. Shut up, dude. What are you here for? If we suck, what are you on the website for? Go somewhere else. There's plenty of other websites out there. Go to one of the. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So you just ban them, you get rid of them, and then the next douchebag comes along and you ban them. It's an ongoing process. Dude.
You gotta look at it like pro wrestling, man. Sometimes you want to be a babyface so bad, it's crazy. Me, I'm kind of 50-50. Some people hate my guts, some people think I'm the man. I could give two shits. As long as they care one way or the other. Well, if they hate me, that's good too. At least they're interested,
That's what I say, right? At least they're reading the website. They're supporting the website. They're making us money, so we're good to go. Now, check this out, man. We're getting started here a little bit late, and you guys know the reason for that. We just ran it down, right? There's a Hurricane Isaac. For those of you guys that are down in, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, I think is where it's supposed to hit. No, it missed Florida, dude. Get out of here. Don't try to play the, I'm in Florida. I'm watching it on the noon.
We're dealing with hurricanes.
You're dealing with a little bit of wind. You're dealing with a little bit of wind. I got the radar right here. Get the fuck out of here. There's no hurricane in Florida. It missed you.
I'll give you my zip code. Bring it up, jerk off. They're giving us hurricane warnings every 2 minutes on TV and shit. It hasn't hit us yet, but it's supposedly coming.
It's going to be a direct.
Warnings every day.
It's going to be a direct hit over towards New Orleans, Louisiana, which is nowhere close. You're going to get a little bit of wind and a little bit of rain. You're not taking a direct hit. So the people that are taking a direct hit, good luck to you guys, man. Stay safe. I mean, I know it's only there's category 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as far as hurricanes are concerned, and this is only a category 1, but you still got 80-mile-an-hour winds and 15 to 20 inches of rain, and that much rain, there's going to be a lot of flooding and things like that. So everybody down there, be safe. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to hit, or make landfall later tonight around midnight, they're saying. So hopefully you guys are good down there.
15 or 20 inches of rain for real? God damn.
15 or 20 inches of rain in one day, and
we got 5 inches the other day, and we had flooding from that. Like, we had all kinds of flooding going on, and that was only 5 inches. So 5 to 6 inches, they said.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be good, man. There's going to be a lot of flooding, and I'm sure you're going to hear about a couple of deaths. People aren't going to heed the warnings that, stay off the roads, don't go out when things like that happen. And then people go and they want to get close to the ocean and they want to see, and then what happens, man? They wind up dying, It's crazy. So hopefully everybody down there is safe. You too, Boone, even though... Come on, dude. It's not hitting Florida. Get out of here. But you're going to get a lot of rain. I'll give you that, dude. A lot of rain and a little bit of wind. Haley just came back up here, man. She was down.
Thank you for telling me we're going to get a lot of rain. It's raining like a motherfucker right now. He acts like he knows what's going on outside.
Well,
get the fuck out of here, dude.
Get out of here.
Shit all fucking every day.
Wow, dude. Come on. Everybody else in Florida. There's got to be somebody in the chat room that's from Florida. You guys know you're not getting hit with that. It's not that bad. Get out of here, dude. Louisiana.
What everybody down here is talking about.
Yeah, originally they said it was going to hit Florida, dude. They said it was going to smack you guys, and then it wound up going west a little bit, and now it's over towards New Orleans and Mississippi and Alabama, places like that,
What's the hurricane's name? Irene, you said?
Isaac.
Yeah, well, that's because I told Isaac I was going to smack the shit out of him if he came over here. He said, I'll go over here to the fucking I'll fuck your ass up.
Is that what it was, dude? I'll bet that's what it was,
I didn't tell nobody that. I figured I'd save that scoop for the air.
Mr. Big, Scary, Tough Guy, Matty Boone. Get out of here.
I'll take a hurricane's ass any day of the week.
Yeah, I'll bet you will, dude. All right, so we got the hurricane. Stay safe down there, seriously, guys. And, don't go out, obviously, Be good down there. How was the weekend, dude? There was no boxing. We had ESPN Friday Night Fights. That was on Friday, obviously. Friday Night Fights, right? But there was nothing on Saturday or Sunday. No pay-per-views. Kind of quiet, man, And
work-wise, definitely, it was quiet as hell.
Oh, my God, dude. Work-wise, there was nothing. That was one of the quietest weekends I've seen in a long time, man. Months and months and months.
It was refreshing.
It was nice. I'm still getting, I told you last week, man, I keep getting these calls from the Albany County Correctional Facility, dude, the jail, right? I have no idea what these are, dude, but when I don't want to answer because it's from the jail, you know what I mean? Maybe it's an inmate, maybe it's a friend or something. I don't want to pick it up, dude. I don't want to have to deal with that and, can you bail me out? No, dude, get out of here. But nonstop, dude, like 2 or 3 times a day, they keep calling. So maybe it's a scam. I don't know what it is, but what are you going to do? Anyway, so the weekend was good? We good?
Yeah, partying, no work, good weekend.
Partying, no work, good weekend. I made some changes real quick, and then we'll get into Monday Night Raw from last night. Made a couple of changes on WZROnline.com. Basically, what was happening, the way we have the website set up, I was, with the videos, anytime we put videos up on inside a news post, I would have to shrink them down to like 280 width-wise, and it looked like shit, man. So I made the image inside news post, I made it a little bit smaller, and now the videos are, 400 for the width, which is what they're supposed to be. So hopefully it looks prettier, right? A little bit more pretty.
You went with the word prettier?
I went with prettier, yeah. I could have gone with...
So hopefully it looks better, it looks nicer, it looks, he went with prettier. Wow.
Looks kind of sexy, right? Looks a little bit sexy, dude.
Yeah, sexy would have even been kind of cool to say, but prettier was just.
And
pink and yellow and.
Well, and speaking of sexier, right? I added this poll, all right, and if you haven't seen it yet, because I didn't really promote it on Facebook or on the main website,
wait.
but I added a poll.
I got a big poll too.
Well, you got a big poll too, yeah. All right, so check it out. I added this poll, and it's over on the right hand side of the website, right? And I didn't really have a question in mind, you know, so I just came up with something real quick, and I put, who's better on WZR Radio? Ryan Clark and Matt Boone.
Oh, no,
so,
you didn't.
Yes, I did. So that was the poll for the last week, man. And we didn't
on
get
your Facebook, you said?
No. I put it up on the main WZROnline.com page. I added
on your website. Okay, on your website. Who won that poll on your website?
No. So I didn't want to put who's the better host because I knew you were gonna come up with some. Well, you put host, dude, or you put personality. You're gonna. So I put who's better on WZR Radio, right? We didn't have a lot of votes, dude. I mean, I feel like a lot of people didn't, even some people on Facebook, man, because I put this up on Facebook. I said I added a poll to WZROnline.com, and I did some stuff inside news posts, right? Didn't really promote it, all right? So I put it up, who's better on WZR Radio, and we got 88 votes as of now. You know, it's only been up for a couple days, like 4 or 5 days, with 73% of the vote and 64 votes, Ryan Clark. With 27% and 24 votes, Matt Boone. I'm just saying, dude. You know what I'm saying? I gotta brag a little bit, dude. Come on.
Well, let's do it now.
How you gonna spin it? How you gonna spin it,
I
dude?
haven't said anything about the word host or anything like that. I mean, we're both hosts. That doesn't include better personality. Same thing. Wait.
Here comes the Matt Boone spoon or a spin. Matt Boone spoon.
All right. He's on his website where he's Mr. Grassroots himself.
Yeah.
Chit chatting with the fans.
Here it is.
Here it is. Single day.
Yeah.
I haven't been on my Facebook in fucking months. Okay, so they get to talk to you every day. Who do you think they're gonna like better, you dumb shithead? No, if Obama and Romney are running for the president of the United States of America. Let's say Obama says, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna put any commercials out. I'm not gonna go shake any hands. I'm not gonna kiss any babies." How many percent of the votes you think he's gonna get? Dumb fucking retard. Well, use your head right. Come on.
Get out of here, dude. We can start the poll over right now. I can do a poll right now, dude. We can start it fresh. If now that we're live on air, dude, we can have our fans right now come up. We'll start the poll over. We'll start it fresh, and we'll go. What do you want for a poll? That's another thing, man. Is I was gonna make. Listen, we make the show interactive, right? We take live phone calls. We do the chat shout-outs. We do the rapid fire segment. I was thinking about doing a poll every week during WZR Radio. Not regarding us, dude, but whatever's going on in pro wrestling or UFC, right? I would do a poll, and then people can go and vote. I was going to put it on the chat page, but everything got fucked up, you know, before the show tonight, so couldn't do it.
Well, it doesn't change anything if you do the poll now. And anyways, like I said, I got a big poll right here waiting for you fucking sack of shit.
Yeah.
Right after that.
Yeah.
No, you can do a poll now. It's not going to be any different. You're still going to slaughter me. I mean, it's your show, it's your site, it's your Facebook, it's your show.
All right, well,
I'm the heel of the fucking gig. All right, let's ask WWE fans, who do you like more, John Cena or fucking who's the top heel? I don't know. Do they even have one?
John Cena is John Cena's a bad example, dude. I mean, John Cena's like 50-50 as far as heel is concerned. You know, you could have came up with.
Yeah, well, there's not a clear-cut babyface anymore either because we got CM Punk trying to be a heel now.
Yeah, you could do like a Triple H or something like that, or a Rock or an Austin or somebody like that. I know Rock and Austin aren't there, but you could, right,
so you're the Rock and I'm like fucking John Cena or something.
Right.
I'm like a fucking mixed bag.
That's what it is. There you go. We can do a poll. What do you want to do? I mean, let's come up with something right now and make it interactive. I can. I'll add this right now on, basically I don't have it on the chat page. Eventually I'm going to put this so you guys don't have to go to the main site too. Everything will be right there on the chat page. You know, you'll have the chat room, you'll have the media player, and everything else right there. But what's a good poll, dude? I mean, what's been going on?
Well, here, I'll give you a good poll. Let me give you a good poll. Put up the same question. Who's the better? Or just change the wording or something and clear the votes. But everybody listening, I'm going to campaign a little bit since you get to campaign on a daily basis.
Okay.
This is my state of address to the audience, to the Army. As a goof. Just as a goof. Everybody go vote for me. All right, put the poll up. Go ahead.
Get out of here, dude. Give me a good poll question, bro. Give me something good.
We'll get Ryan stuttering at the end of the show. Oh, well, they only did that because you said.
Oh, stop! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out! All right. So what are we gonna do? Somebody in the chat room come up with a good poll, and I'll keep an eye on it, and then we'll put it up on WZROnline.com. It's over on the right side there, where you guys will be able to vote, and we'll put something up. So we're gonna get into Monday Night Raw here in just a couple minutes. Bigger douchebag, Jon Jones or Matt Boone? That's a good one.
That's a good poll. Yeah, that's valid.
No, we're coming up with something pro wrestling related. You know what I mean? Something about Night of Champions. How about that? We'll do a Night of Champions. Who's gonna win? John Cena or CM Punk? That's a good one because it's kind of up in the air. Nobody knows, right? So plug the poll for me.
Yeah, everybody knows it's gonna be Punk. You're the only one who thinks it's gonna be Cena still.
I think it's gonna be Cena, but I told you that last week.
Well,
but all right,
Punk's still calling out The Rock. He did the Rock bottom last night for Christ's sake. Dude, I called some shit. I was there this week.
Yeah, were you? Plug my
No, I didn't watch it. I watched it on YouTube today. But...
Plug my poll. Plug my poll for me real quick.
All right, everybody go to WZROnline.com. I think the poll question is who's going to win Night of Champions, John Cena or CM Punk? Log on and vote. WZROnline.com.
There you go. It's over on the right-hand side of the website. We are going to publish this right now. Okay, so it's up. So go to WZROnline.com, right-hand side of the website. Who's going to win at Night of Champions, John Cena or CM Punk? And at the end of the show tonight, we will give you guys those poll results. We're also going to do rapid fire in hour number 2. We'll be taking the live phone calls here in just a little bit as well. Tonight, we're going to talk Monday Night Raw and the mid-card talents. What's happening with them? I mean, they're basically mocking them on live TV. And then the last thing, real quick, and then we'll get into Monday Night Raw from last night. If you guys want WZR Radio t-shirts, you can email me your money. It's going to be $20. If you're in the United Kingdom, it's going to be $25. You can send UK money. It's just got to be $25 because it cost me $8 to ship out to the UK. You can send that money to 180D Delaware Ave, Troy, New York, 12180, and now I wait for the weekly Matt Boone joke about the t-shirts. What do you got for me?
All I was going to say was, how many orders have you got since last week's plug on the show? I'm just curious.
0.
Okay, thank you. And also, another thing, a point I wanted to make. You're not going to do it because you're a chicken shit, but you could go update that poll right now, and you could add, who's going to win at Night of Champions? John Cena, CM Punk, or Ryan Clark? And guess who would win the poll?
Oh, probably me.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, get out of here. Shut up.
They're your fans, dude.
Shut up. They're your fans, too. They come to listen to both of us on a Tuesday night. And the poll that I had up referred to, not the website, not me. It referred to WZR Radio, Matt Boone, and Ryan Clark. There are people that come here on a Tuesday night to listen to not just me, you too. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people in the chat room right now saying, I'm all Boone. I'm all for Boone. You know what I'm saying, dude? It's got nothing to do with the website.
I missed that chat room. That chat room was the great equalizer. It was my proof. Like, you would say some shit, and I'd be like, you'd be like, nobody agrees with you. And then I'd just glance over at the chat, and everybody would be fucking singing my praises. And I'd be like, well, everybody there seems to agree. Oh, that's a small percentage of the audience, blah, blah, blah. I can't even use that anymore because I can't go to the chat during the show. Thanks for
You're jealous. You're jealous that you lost the poll, dude, and you're trying to... I knew this was going to happen. You're going to come up with every excuse in the book. Well, it's your website, dude, and it's your Facebook account. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Do you know damn well I'm better than you anyway, bro? I come on here every Tuesday night. I fucking tear the house down. You? Not so much. Not so much, baby doll.
Your job is to read raw results and do some plugs, a couple transitions, and then I got to fill in all the color in the fucking... it's like you're the coloring book with the pictures outlined, and I got to come in with the flavor. I got to be the red and yellow in between the lines and shit.
Whatever, dude. All right,
that's the breakdown.
So here we go. We're going to get into Monday Night Raw. The official website of WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Our Facebook is Facebook.com/WZRArmy. Twitter account, just go to WZROnline.com. All that good stuff is on the top navigation bar under the social media tab. You're good to go. Hit that tab. All the links are right there. Vote in the poll at the end of tonight before we go off the air. They will give you the results, who's going to win at Night of Champions, John Cena or CM Punk. WWE SmackDown being taped in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, they are on a 1-hour delay, so it's going to be a little bit later than normal. I don't know, usually when they're on the East Coast, about 10:30 Eastern Time, probably be about 11:30 Eastern Time tonight before we have SmackDown spoilers, and we'll have some of those spoilers before we go off the air here tonight. They're also going to do a Saturday Morning Slam match. That's the new show that they're airing every Saturday morning, obviously Saturday Morning Slam, and the rest of WWE Superstars. Like I said, we're going to get into Monday Night Raw here. Just a couple minutes. We got about 20 minutes to get through that. Then we're going to talk about the mid-card talents and, you know, what they're doing, basically mocking these guys on TV. It's pretty crazy, man. So, talk about that, live phone calls, and whatever else, rapid fire, whatever else you guys want to talk about as well. So, here we go, man. Monday Night Raw. You saw bits and pieces of it last night, huh? That's a step in the right direction.
I saw the computer's fucking slow. You were supposed to send me a computer, by the way. I don't know if you remember that or not, but the computer I'm using right now is so slow that, like, I get on YouTube and, like, it used to be you could hit pause on a YouTube video and it would download the whole thing. You know, the bar would turn gray and you could just wait for it to finish downloading the whole thing and then you hit play. Mm-hmm. Well, now it only downloads like 20 seconds and then it stops. No matter how long you wait, it won't go past 20 seconds. Then you hit play, it'll stay at 20 seconds, and then you can pause it, it'll download another 20 seconds. But you can't get it to download the whole thing. So I just had to pick and choose what was important to see for the show, and I watched the Wall of Punk opening, I saw the Triple H retirement thing, I saw some of the cage match, a little bit of Santino thing. So I saw, you know, bits and pieces.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm just telling you, YouTube sucks now. I used to like it. You can just pause it, even if you're on a shitty computer, and just be patient. But
but that's what happens, man. Like like Facebook is a classic example, right? All this stuff comes out. Everybody loves Facebook at first, dude, and then the site takes off, and millions of people sign up, and then they start changing shit. You know what I mean, dude? And it's like
because it's like it's so complicated, and then you finally get used to it. You finally learn how to use everything, and you're comfortable with it. And right when you're comfortable and you know how to do everything, is when it's like they know.
Yeah, dude, don't change shit. What's the saying, dude? Don't fix something that's not broke. Is that something like that, right? Don't fix it if it's not broke, man. It's like Facebook went to the whole timeline thing, man. And I had timeline. I kept it up for as long as I could. And then last week or the week before, they automatically switched me over. And I can't stand it, dude. I cannot stand the timeline. And everybody says, you'll get used to it, blah, 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 blah. What's the difference? Well, yeah, but what's the difference, man? I mean, let people do it both ways.
Well,
you know?
Why should you have to get used to it? Like, you already fucking had Facebook and enjoyed it. Why do you gotta fucking now translate everything over to this new thing, figure it out, learn how to use it? Because the second you get comfortable with it, guess what? Timeline 2.0 comes out, baby.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. Exactly, bro. You know that there's going to be a Timeline 2.0, 3.0, 4. You know what I mean, dude? Get out of here with that, you know? All right, so here we go. From Monday Night Raw last night, right? They opened up the show. They've got the brand new opening and the theme that they play. Yeah, I like the old theme better. You know, it took me a while. That's another thing, man. It took me a long time.
I was going to say, you go through all the Raw songs. There's been times where, like, at first you're like, oh, I don't like it because you're so used to the old one. But then you realize, oh, this is even better. And then they changed it. And I like the, I think it was Smackdown, though, when they did the Beautiful People with Marilyn Manson. That shit was badass back in the day.
No doubt. What is the, I haven't... What's the, is this the new theme? I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can play this. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. That's not it, is it? No, that's not it.
I didn't know they changed it. I remember, what was the one, was it Raw where they would do move through the music, play that fucking music, and then they'd have to censor fucking... Oh, God.
That's the old one, right? That's a mix. This is it. Here it is.
You doing trial and error here?
This is it, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that's the new one, right? No? Get out of here.
I don't know. I've never heard it.
Whatever.
I can't confirm it for you, man.
Whatever. All right. So, anyways, they kicked off Monday Night Raw last night, right? The main points were we're gonna have anger management classes with Daniel Bryan, and Kane eventually showed up there, right? Triple H was gonna address his future with WWE after losing to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and CM Punk was going to cut a promo, talk about respect, and, follow up the whole thing they did the previous week with Jerry the King Lawler. So, speaking of Jerry the King Lawler, they aired the opening theme that we don't have for you tonight. Jerry Lawler, he's at the announce booth, and he steps up, enters the ring, and talks about, what went down, the confrontation that he had with CM Punk last week, and basically said that CM Punk last week demanded an apology from Jerry Lawler, and this week Jerry wants an apology from CM Punk, right? So that brings out Punk, and obviously it's CM Punk, WWE Champion. He refuses to apologize to Lawler, and starts making fun of him about being jealous, and you're just an announcer, blah 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 blah, and then basically challenges them to a fight later tonight, right? Says, you want to fight Jerry? I'll fight you, or blah, 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 blah. CM Punk eventually, throws down the microphone, walks off, and then Jerry Lawler does the little one line, I'll think about it, right? And then goes back to the announce booth, and throughout the night, Michael Cole kept asking him, or at least in hour number one, Michael Cole kept asking, are you going to fight him? Are you going to face him tonight? And Lawler kept saying, I'll think about it. And then eventually Lawler stood up at a later point in the show and said, all right, it's on. I'll fight him. And we had been talking about that, that Jerry Lawler and CM Punk, they were eventually going to have a match. It was going to happen before Night of Champions. And it's just a basic... I mean, you've got a couple weeks until Night of Champions, so you need filler stuff between now and the pay-per-view. And that was a way to, What?
It seems obvious to me that they're using Lawler to get Punk over as a heel. Like,
right.
Who could Punk dress down and get heat? They got to find a sympathetic guy. Like, remember when Austin, when he was trying to be heel back in the Attitude Era, they had him like, it was with Michael Cole before he was a character. He was just a straight announcer. They had him like drag him around by his shirt and like just fucking do shit like that. Then they aligned him with Triple H because they knew he'd get some heat off of that. But yeah, CM Punk is so over, and he's over as a smart ass as it is, babyface. So having him be a heel, he's just modifying his character a little bit, and he's still getting a great reaction when he comes out. Depending on who he's dressing down is when he's going to get his heel heat. And with Lawler in the ring, looking like a sympathetic old man,
that's
talking all that shit to him. Yeah, he's going to get heat for
that. That's the thing too. CM Punk is not a full-fledged heel right now. You know what I mean? He's still touch and go, man. A lot of people are starting to hate him, but you've got the older fans and the smart marks, that are still cheering the guy. So by bringing a guy like you said, by bringing a guy like Jerry Lawler out, it gets cheap heat, and tries to get him over as a full-fledged heel, which as of right now he's currently not. So we go to a commercial break. We come back and we've got Jack Swagger gets no entrance music whatsoever. He's already in the ring. Ryback comes out, and here's the deal, man. Jack Swagger is one of those guys, man. I can name off a list a mile long, man. Jack Swagger, Natalia, Beth Phoenix, Tenzai, Zack Ryder, Santino Marella, all guys that are pissed off, man. And then people say, there are people on the website that say, I'm not going to believe that mid-carders are frustrated until you tell me who your source is. Like, I'm going to come out and tell you who I've done. Listen, I can tell you right now, I have talked to 3 current WWE talents and then 1 former ex-talent who have all flat out told me on a cell phone, voice to voice, man, talking to him, that they're pissed, man, but they don't know what to do about it, dude. There's nothing that these guys can do, because if they speak up, they're going to be jobbed out, and there's a possibility that they're going to be fired when the eventual roster cuts come. There's nothing these guys can do that if they speak up, it's only gonna fuck them more, man. So they put up with it, and they just think to themselves, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hope that eventually my time comes, because it's not like I want to get fired. It's not like I want to quit. You know what? I mean, a lot of them feel that they do want to quit, but then they're out of a job, and they know that WWE is the main company. You know, what are they going to do? Go to TNA, go to Ring of Honor, work the indie scene, and get paid even less money than what they're making at them? None of these guys want to get fired, man, but they know if they speak up, you know. And then we put a list of names out on the website, and you know, the next couple weeks here, they get jobbed out, man, after we put the names up of people that are pissed off. And then people say, well, does WWE management read, you know, dirt sheet? Well, of course they do. Everybody's got a computer. You know, if you've got a job, right, if you're working somewhere, you're telling me you haven't Googled your company or Googled, you know, things to find out, you know, especially with pro wrestling, man. If you're working for WWE, you're going to Google your name and find out what the dirt is, what the backstage news is, especially a pro wrestler, you know. So yeah, management and WWE.
Regular people, I googled my name to see what comes up. Everybody does that. Come on.
Everybody Googles their name, you know. So I mean, these guys are pissed off, and you know they get fucked out. I mean, Jack Swagger's one of them, man. They jobbed this guy out. We just put up on the website today. He's got 9 straight consecutive losses on pay-per-views and television, you know. And David Otunga's another one, man, who has 10 losses. I mean, I can understand David Otunga. He's always been in that jobber type role, but Jack Swagger, this dude is a former world champion. I mean, they were high on him at one point, and now he's just fucked, you know. And how would you feel, man, going from a former? I mean, look at Swagger, man. How would you feel going from a former world champion to working dark matches and superstars matches? Let's talk about Tensai for a second. Tensai was told, man, he was a mega star over in New Japan. All right, huge, man, Giant Bernard over in New Japan. One of the top guys working for New Japan Pro Wrestling and the other companies out that way. He's told that WWE wants him back. WWE contacts him, tells him, yeah, we want you to come back. We're going to push you. We're going to make you a big star. And we're going to put you in a main event feud with John Cena, right? They bring him back, and he's on Superstars and working dark matches now. How ridiculous, dude, to be told that you're going to be in a main event feud with John Cena. And keep in mind, he's a megastar in New Japan, so he didn't need to leave. He didn't need to come over to the United States and work for WWE. New Japan's the WWE of Japan, you know? So he comes over.
Well, why would you rather be a star? You'd rather be a star in your home country than living in a foreign place where you don't speak the language, you don't know the culture, and you're a star there, you're making good money, but it's not the same as being a star here, you know?
And then, you know, the Dag in the chat, he's on Superstars because he never got over with the fans. Bro, they never gave him a chance to get over with the fans. They never did that storyline. There was supposed to be a main event storyline with John Cena, right? When he first came back to WWE. You guys saw the vignettes that they were airing, the video packages. They were hyping him up as this big monster that was coming in. They were going to have him in a main event feud with John Cena, and everything got scrapped. And he got fucked, man. And how do you think he feels, man?
The guy in the chat's kind of right. The crowd didn't react to him well, but that's WWE's fault. They gave him a shit character. They made a joke out of the fact that he was famous in Japan by trying to make him a big Japanese guy. He doesn't look Japanese at all. So obviously the crowd's going to see through that. They're not dumb. They're going to be like, well, what the fuck? They're trying to tell him as a big Japanese guy?
No, but you're saying, I mean, look, yeah, but you know what, dude? You got to think that the WWE fan base is a lot of kids these days. People forget that, man. There are so many kids that are in the audience when you go to a WWE live event, man. It's not all older people and you know, smart marks and people that read the internet that are in these arenas, dude. I would say, you know, over 50% of people in the arena, they don't know about the dirt sheets and they don't know the backstage news like us. We always forget that, dude. A lot of people forget that, man.
Well, what does that got to do with anything? They still marketed him as a Japanese superstar.
Right,
he doesn't look Japanese. The fans aren't stupid. Right. Even if you're kids, he's a heel. He's a heel. So the reaction that they want is heat. Yeah. And yeah, they're not gonna. The little kids aren't gonna go boo and shit like that to some new nobody. They got to make them somebody first.
And they didn't. They failed. They failed. They failed to do that. And he was promised that they were gonna put him in a main event storyline when he came in, bro. And then they failed to do that. I mean, he's thinking to himself right now, dude. Why didn't I stay in New Japan? Why didn't I stay over there and become a top star, dude? Why? Because this company promised me that when I came over here, they were gonna make me into a big star over here, put me in a main event feud. And then plans change and he gets fucked, you know, and what are you going to do? Now he's under contract, you know, they screwed him. They screwed a guy like that. We had...
because guys like Bret Hart back in the day, they used to make it to where it was in their contract and they had to be WWE champion a certain amount of times. And people used to always fuck with Brett so bad. Like, dude, you're such a mark. You made it in your contract that you have to be champion, but,
right.
I mean, it's smart, because if you don't look, I mean, they could promise you the world, one bad reaction at an important show, and you're fucking jobbing out a superstar. So you got to be smart with business.
Right. We had, so Jack Swagger basically jobbed out to, Ryback. He actually got some offensive moves in for I think he hit a scoop slam, and then that was that, dude. It was over, man. Ryback just basically, the whole feed me more chance. I mean, they're high on Ryback these days. We put it up on the website. They've got big plans for him, and Damian Sandow is the other one that they've got big plans for at some point later this year. We had Natalya jobbed out to Layla. Vicky Guerrero comes out to the ring, right? And there was a line she made last night. She cut a promo before the match and basically said this match needs to end soon because she has an important announcement to make, and she said that everybody on the roster is afraid to speak up. Right? Come on, bro. That's a direct shot. We put the news up, a couple weeks ago that mid-card talents were frustrated and everybody was afraid to speak up. Vicky Guerrero comes out and cuts a promo, and that direct line was, everybody's afraid. Nobody on this roster has the guts to speak up, or something like that, is what her line was. Dude, come on, man. Mid-card talent's not speaking up. It's little subtle things like that, man, that WWE does that the average fan has no idea what they're talking about, man. But the people that read the internet and know about the mid-card frustration, etc., etc. And Natalya's another one that is not happy. And then they jobbed her out. They jobbed out Natalya to Layla. I understand Layla's Divas champion, blah, 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 blah. She's champion. You're going to have her win, but it was a job, man. Natalya jobbed out here. And then Vicky Guerrero's subtle shot at the, the meeting that they had backstage at Raw a couple weeks ago. It's bullshit, man, for these mid-card talents,
WWE's always done that. They've always been known to take shots for their own amusement, like something
right.
that makes Vince laugh, even if nobody understands what the hell's going on. Like, I remember, it was Ted DiBiase and Virgil Rhodes. You know what Dusty Rhodes' real name is?
I don't.
Virgil, okay? And in WCW, he was like the main booker for Jim Crockett. And the gimmick at WWE was Virgil is $1 Million Man's, like, slave.
Right.
He does whatever he says and shit for money, the same way Dusty Rhodes, a.k.a. Virgil, is doing for our competition right now. It was like a big shot that nobody got.
Right.
They always do shit like that. It's just stupid.
They always do. It's subtle things, dude, that people don't realize, man. And the line from Vicky Guerrero last night was one of those shots, man, at mid-card talents. Like, none of you guys have the balls to speak up, dude. And then Vicky Guerrero comes out and says that, So they job out Natalya. Beth Phoenix is thinking about quitting WWE, leaving WWE by the end of this year. That's how frustrated. We're going to have a big exclusive report coming up on that, probably at some point later this week, Thursday or Friday. We're going to put that up on the websites. But Beth Phoenix is not happy, and there are people that feel she's going to be gone from WWE by the end of this year. So, big exclusive update coming on WZROnline.com with that. So, what else happened? Vicky's big announcement after was, she's fed up with AJ and her abuse of power as Raw General Manager, and she basically begged the board of directors to hire or name a new general manager, preferably herself. Fuck that up. And then AJ comes out, skipped around the ring, and then slapped Vicky Guerrero, and they had a cat fight in the ring, and then that was that, man. Vicky Guerrero was able to escape and ran to the back. AJ never grabbed a microphone or anything like that, man. Just basically came out, slapped her, and then that was that. So, and then Vicky went on Twitter late last night, man, and was, we need a new Raw General Manager, abuse of power, followed up the story. That's another thing, man. It's a lot of these guys and divas are going on Twitter, and, like there were a bunch of talents that were talking about Triple H's return to Raw and what was going to happen. Not only that, but WWE.com hyped up that Triple H was going to open Monday Night Raw last night, man. He was going to open the show. He was going to kick it off, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And what happened, dude? It didn't air until 10 o'clock? Was it the 10 o'clock hour?
It was a 10 o'clock thing. It was a 10 o'clock thing, because I remember they were trying to get it over as a real retirement by having him crying and all that and shit. And I'm like, who's going to buy that Triple H, one of the biggest stars of all time, is officially retiring, and it's not the main event segment of the show? 10 o'clock, Triple H On forever. Yeah, okay, that's not an angle. Whatever.
All right, it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. 9 o'clock Eastern time. We got to go to a quick commercial break. I am gonna put up the rapid fire segment right now on my Facebook page.
Oh, so that means he wants me to tell you guys that we should go over to Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR, and once you get there, the top post will say something along the lines of submit your rapid fire questions and comments for hour number 2. Keep them brief. That way we can read them all. Get to as many as possible. And, yeah, Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR.
Ryan Clark WZR.
I make the pause a little longer every week to see if you think something's going on.
If I chime in or what?
Yeah. Facebook.com/
Not only that, guys.
Ryan Clark WZR.
Not only that, guys, but go to WZROnline.com. The right-hand side of the website, there's a poll. Who's going to win at Night of Champions? It's going to be John Cena or CM Punk. Go vote, and then at the end of the show tonight, we will read off those results to you. Also, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Get there. We're going to a commercial break. We'll come back in about 5 minutes from now, taking your live phone calls, doing the rapid fire segment, finishing up Monday Night Raw from last night, and giving off Smackdown spoilers and the poll on WZROnline.com. We'll do all that stuff in our numero dos. You're listening to WZR Radio with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this. Radio here for hour number 2. We'll be taking your live phone calls and doing the rapid fire segment. Let us get through Monday Night Raw here real quick, guys. We're not going to run down every match from top to bottom. We'll just get through the high points and the low points, and then we'll get into it. We'll do your rapid fire, like I said, live phone calls. And real quick, before we get into the rest of Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give you, they are taping WWE Superstars, Saturday Morning Slam, and Smackdown out in Green Bay, Wisconsin tonight. I have Superstars and Saturday Morning Slam results for you right now. So, the dark match at the TV tapings tonight was Jinder Mahal defeated Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu, once again, another one of those guys. He even came out and wrote a blog. It was in Japanese, but he wrote a blog about how he was pissed off with his current status with WWE, him and a lot of others, and what do? They put him in a dark match, and they job him out to Jinder Mahal, you know? So it's just another example. Ryback for WWE, that was the dark match for WWE Superstars. Ryback defeated Johnny Curtis. Another guy, Johnny Curtis, not happy, job him out. Saturday Morning Slam, we had Sin Cara defeated Michael McGillicuddy. Michael McGillicuddy, he's been outright. If you've seen his Twitter accounts, you know that he's not all that happy either, man. Especially with the name that they're using, Michael McGillicuddy. They didn't bring up the Henning name, you know, and they jobbed him out. Sin Cara. And then Big E Langston squashed a local wrestler, which you know, I guess they're gonna have him debut on Saturday Morning Slam,
yeah, and
we'll
the
see
local wrestler speaking up too much. What do? Job them out.
They job these guys out, man. It's like, you know, guys that are frustrated. What do? They job them out. It's basically like, all right, you want to speak up? That's cool, man. Now we're gonna job you out. It's pathetic, man. And what do, bro? It's like they either quit. Tyler Rex quit WWE last week, and we've had him on here a couple weeks ago, man. Shad Gaspard, right? And I asked him, because they were good friends, man, back in the day when Shad was in WWE. And I asked Shad, I said, what was the deal? And he said, you know, he was frustrated, and not only that, but he had a daughter or a son, I think it was a daughter, and basically said that he was on the road, he wasn't making a lot of money, and wanted to spend more time with his family. And then Rex came out and said that in a blog, you know, said, listen, I wanted more family time, I had a daughter, we put it up on the website today. But he didn't come out and say, no, I was frustrated, man, and you know, the money sucked, because he doesn't want to jeopardize a return to WWE. So he took it, he did it the smart way, man, and came out and said, you know, I'm a family man, I've got a daughter, but there's more to it than that, man, and he played it the smart way, man. You got to give him credit for that.
If you're going to speak up, you speak up the right way, and what do? they don't job you out.
Well, and then he's got a chance to return to the company at some point later down the line. I mean, if he comes out and he makes a video and says, the company sucked, they treated me like shit, man, the travel sucked,
then what would they do?
The pay sucked. Well, they're gonna bring him back. If they bring him back, they're gonna job him out, right?
They're job him out.
But I mean, he basically came out and he did it the smart way and said, I'm a family man, and basically kept the doors open for a WWE return instead of coming out and bashing the company and pretty much killing any chances of returning down the line. So, all right, back to Monday Night Raw. We had there were anger management classes throughout the night. The first one, Scorpio Sky, who just worked at Destination X, was one of the guys that came in. They actually he worked as Mason Andrews in TNA. They had offered him a contract. There was a contract offer on the table, and then he was invited to WWE's tryouts SummerSlam weekend. There were reports that he didn't show up, but I don't know how true those are. Maybe he just wasn't seen at the tryouts, but nonetheless, there was a TNA contract offer on the table. He told TNA, I want to see what happens with WWE. Obviously, I'd like to go to the big leagues. If WWE offers me a contract, I'm going to sign with them. If not, can I come back and sign with you? And TNA basically said that was all right, had a contract offer on the table. And then we saw him on Monday Night Raw last night. So, and not only that, but all of those vignettes, they taped about 5 or 6 of them last week prior to SummerSlam. So that's not it, man. 3 aired last night. I'm sure we're going to see 2 or 3 more next week, and maybe the week after. Depends on how long they spread them out. But all the vignettes are already taped and were taped last week, which leads me to believe that Mason Andrews, Scorpio Sky, was in town for SummerSlam, because if he was there to tape the vignettes, that would mean that either maybe he didn't participate in the tryouts, as WWE had already offered him a contract before that, for the vignettes that they taped, and maybe he wasn't needed or skipped over the tryouts, and maybe that's why he wasn't seen or wasn't there, But nonetheless, so at one point, Kane came into the room. I mean, some of these were funny. The first one sucked, man, with the kid. A kid came in, he was under a mask, and Daniel Bryan got all upset, and it turned out that the kid was the counselor's son, and blah, 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 blah. It was just, did you see any of those or no?
No, I didn't see any. I heard about him, though. Kane grabbed somebody by the throat when he asked him for a hug or some shit. I don't know. I heard some bits and pieces. Yeah. They had somebody named Howard Harold, I think it was. That was fucking old UFC fighter's name.
That was Scorpio Sky. Harold played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old UFC fighter's name from one of the original first UFC shows.
I saw that. Like UFC 3 or something like that. I was.
Yeah, one of the very early. I think it was 3. It was the one that Royce Gracie had to drop out for injury, and the fucking nobody ended up winning it.
That wasn't him though. They were just using the name.
No, it wasn't him. It was the name, yeah.
Right. See, it's another subtle shot by WWE, with things that nobody would know of. I wonder why they brought up that name though for UFC. What's the beef there?
I didn't see how they used him, but is the intention for him to be a fucking nobody or what?
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a reason they used that name. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe there's heat or something.
I would think so. I mean, yeah, because it's not like a common name or like a name that, like, if you're thinking Howard, we need a last name, Howard what? Howard Hughes, Howard Johnson, Howard Smith,
right?
Howard Harold.
Yeah, no, it's weird, dude. It's weird that they came up with that. There's got to be something more to that, dude. But it's just another subtle shot by WWE. They do it all the time, bro. And if you blink an eye, bro, you'll miss it, But I was watching Raw last night, dude, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, there are more little shots here, And
if you speak up about these little shots, what do?
They job you out, Matty Boone.
They fucking job you out, man. What the fuck?
We had John Cena and
about this.
John Cena came out at the 9 o'clock hour. That's the first time we had seen him for the night. We had he was in a match with The Miz. This is right after Jerry Lawler had got up on the announce table and basically said, "I'm going to take on CM Punk later tonight." And then they announced later in the show that it was going to be a Raw active match where it was either going to be a steel cage match, a tables match, or What's the other one? No DQ, I think it was. And
I wanted to ask you about that because I heard that they did the voting or whatever. Now, if it was a steel cage match, and I heard at the end they had John Cena come out and ask him to raise the cage because Punk wouldn't stop beating on him.
Right.
So was the cage hanging above the ring all night anyway?
Yeah. So you know the voting is fucking scripted, dude.
They got the voting set up, and
right.
They've already got the cage hanging up. Well, just in case they
just
all vote for
right.
We'll just leave it there for no reason.
Just in case, right? Just in case, and then. You've got the main event ending segment, right? The ending segment of Raw where Cena's going, lift the cage up, right? That means the voting. I mean, give me a break, dude. Give me a fucking. What if the tables match won, right? What would John Cena have done at the end of Raw last night? Move the tables. You know what I mean?
Get in here. Come get your table back. Come get your table back.
It's ridiculous. That means you're voting. Listen, when they ask you to vote in those polls, your voting means absolutely nothing.
Your voting means they need your phone numbers for fucking files so they can call and sell you shit down the road. The same way when you sign up for something, you got to click that "I agree to the terms and conditions" box.
That's what it is.
Well, that's a bunch of spam.
That's what it is, dude. That's what it is, dude. When you call the number to vote, right? They you've got a text message Raw active, or hashtag Raw, whatever it is, dude. The number sign. What's the number sign on the telephone called? The
hashtag. Oh, yeah, pound.
Pound sign. Pound Raw active, right? And then when you do that, they get your phone number, like you were saying, dude, and then they can send you alerts and they can send you advertisements. It's a whole fucking scam, dude. So if they ever ask you to vote, right? Don't vote, dude, because it's a big old scam where they got your phone number and then they can send you all these advertisements and everything else. Now, on the other hand, if you go to WZROnline.com and you vote in our poll for who's going to win at Night of Champions, John Cena or CM Punk, we're going to give you the real results because I can't fuck with that poll. You know what I'm saying, dude? I can't
be cheated. It's cheat proof.
Right. You can't cheat on it either.
Because if anybody cheated with it, you know what Ryan Clark would do.
Hey, you like that? BCHCHCH, amazing segue in the chat. That was a good segue, wasn't it? That was good, man. That was good.
Well, that's just now or on the Raw?
My segue into the WWE poll when you're voting.
Oh, I thought you said segment. I'm sorry.
That was a good one, man. That was a good segue. Speaking of the chat room, there's another segue. You can get there at WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Alright, let me scroll through Monday Night Raw here. Heath Slater against Santino Marella. This is stupid, man. The crowd was chanting boring during this, and then Santino did pick up the win here, which is interesting. I mean, they're not going to job him out every single match, you know what I mean? But they took the U.S. title off of him at the SummerSlam pre-show, gave it to Antonio Cesaro. And basically what keeps happening here, dude, is Oksana comes out on stage, and the Cobra gets distracted, or more like seduced, right? And everybody freezes up, and the Cobra freezes, and doesn't know what to do. And last night, everybody froze up. Oksana came out, everybody froze, and then the Cobra turned around and hit the strike on Slater, and that was that, dude. Cobra gets the win. Santino gets the win. It was stupid, dude. Well, there was a tag team match: Brodus Clay and Sin Cara against Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. Sandow cut a promo before the match and said he finally found someone that he could relate to, and that person was Cody Rhodes. And then we had a tag team match, and then after, Brodus Clay and all the kids and everybody else got in the ring and danced and did what they did. There was did what they do. There was another anger management class. Well, what?
Let me ask you this: if Brodus Clay didn't go out and do his dance, what would they do?
If they would job him out.
Too many times. All right, go ahead.
No, I didn't get it. I wasn't listening to you, but I got it now. Oh. Anyways, there was Daniel Bryan and R-Truth. The idea here was Daniel Bryan had just gotten out of the anger management classes, and he was a changed man, dude. He came out and he shook hands before the match, or did a fist bump or something like that. Showed sportsmanship, right? He's trying to be calm, trying to control the anger, and there were these comedy spots, and then both of them were on the outside. R-Truth quickly got back in the ring. Daniel Bryan was counted out, and then got all pissed off after the match. So he was all calm during the match, and then he got counted out, and the anger management stuff was out the window, So that was the gist of that. We had the Triple H retirement speech, if you will, man. He's not retiring. I get so many emails, dude. Is Triple H, even tweets and people on Facebook, is Triple H really retiring? Blah, blah, blah. No. It's a storyline angle. You saw this, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Two things stood out. One, the "You Can Do It" chant, when he said he wasn't sure if he could beat Brock Lesnar, everybody's chanting "You Can Do It," like the Adam Sandler movies. "You can do it." And at one point, one single person in the crowd yelled out, I forget what Triple H said. He said, "Well, what am I going to do? If I can't beat him or something like that, what can I do?" And the guy in the crowd at the top of his lungs said, "You can go to TNA," or some shit like that.
Really? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, man, it was clear as day, too. I know that was funny. But no, I mean, yeah. What's up?
What about the whole segment, though, dude? Listen, for the average fan, bro, for the people that didn't know that he wasn't retiring, that he's eventually going to be back for another match, man, I thought he did a good job, man, to get over the angle, with the fake tears and everything else. Actually, it wasn't fake. There were real tears coming down, right?
I didn't see any tears. I'm on a small screen, so I don't know. I know he was doing the shaky voice. That was fake, and it was so early in the song. But I remember thinking, my main thought was, they've done so many of these serious, emotional retirements that were real recently, like Edge, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and they've got a bunch coming up soon with Undertaker and eventually Triple H, too, that are going to have to retire. Why do a fake one? Right now, it just seems like a long time to do an emotional fake retirement.
Well,
so many real ones, they have to be more real.
They weren't going to do that. That we put it up on the website today. That was not the original plan, dude. They weren't going to have. Basically, what happened at SummerSlam, the company felt that it didn't get over strong enough, man. And you know how SummerSlam ended, bro, with Triple H slowly walking to the back, and there were even chants. I can't remember. What was the chant where Triple H was trying to do this
you
whole...
tapped out. Yeah, he was trying to be serious.
Right.
And you tapped out.
You tapped out, and it was just... It didn't end... SummerSlam didn't end the way that they wanted it to end. So they wanted to do something to try to get the whole Triple H retirement storyline over, and that promo wasn't originally booked for Raw last night, and then they wound up doing it as a way to basically, get fans to actually believe that he was really retiring. You know what I mean? We put that up on the website today.
It's a slow build for a rematch, too, with Brock, which is fucking stupid, man. Why waste one of two Brock matches on a rematch so Triple H can beat him?
And then there's reports today that, they were going to do the rematch at either Survivor Series or the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view here in 2012. And then, there was talk at Raw last
WrestleMania, right?
Well, there was talk at Raw last night that they were going to hold that off until WrestleMania. Now, if they're going to do the rematch, that would fuck up everybody's expectations of a possible Brock Lesnar versus Taker match, Brock Lesnar versus... many others, that people have. I mean, are they going to do that rematch at WrestleMania? Triple H and Brock Lesnar in a WrestleMania or in a Summer? I mean, it would make sense because you do the first match at SummerSlam, right? And then the second match would be at WrestleMania. So it's your two biggest WWE pay-per-views of the year. I guess it would make sense, man, to do the rematch. It makes sense
if you know Triple H, because if they're doing a rematch, Triple H is going to win.
It's going over.
He's got two matches left. You can't have him lose his next match and then go into WrestleMania off a loss. That wouldn't make any fucking sense. You got to have him going into WrestleMania strong. So whoever he wrestles at the next pay-per-view he's wrestling on, you got to win. And he can't beat Triple H twice, obviously. So if they have to do the rematch, I guess it's at WrestleMania with Triple H going over. And that's the last Brock match we get.
Well, and then it's WrestleMania, and Triple H, dude. I mean, Triple H is going to go over at WrestleMania. Come on, it's WrestleMania, it's Triple H, you know what I mean? Dude, he's going over at WrestleMania,
And Triple H's job he's jobbed the last 2 WrestleManias against Undertaker, so you know he's not jobbing a third WrestleMania, especially when we've only got a few WrestleManias left.
Man, it's, right, and like you said, especially with Lesnar winning the first match at SummerSlam, you know what I mean? You know that they're gonna make it even, dude. You're gonna make it 1-1. And, you know, it's a bigger deal at WrestleMania. It'll obviously be a bigger deal at WrestleMania. And who gets the win at WrestleMania? Triple H. It's all politics, bro.
Well,
it's all politics.
It's huge politics. I mean, they had his wife get involved. His kids get fucking knocked. He got his arm broken before the match. They had Shawn Michaels look like a little bitch. They had his arm broken, and they had him beat during the match. Then they had him retired and crying and shit. All his sympathy, so you feel sorry for him, so that when he finally does come back and beats him, you're like, yay, Triple H got his revenge. But in reality, it's like, what bullshit, man?
Right.
Give it to somebody who needs it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Hopefully they don't do the rematch at WrestleMania, but it looks like that's where they're going with it. You know what I mean? I have to wait and see, man. What else happened on Raw last night? That was the whole retirement. We had a match, Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio against Randy Orton and Sheamus. What happened here? Josh Matthews was, of course, out there on commentary with, you know, Jerry Lawler in the main event. So Lawler, you know, got off commentary, went to the back to get ready, and we were stuck with Josh Matthews and Michael Cole for the rest of the night. The finish of this tag team match saw Ricardo Rodriguez, who was on the outside, slid in the Money in the Bank briefcase to Dolph Ziggler, and then Orton caught Ziggler, I believe it was, with a backbreaker, and then Sheamus came in and hit the brogue kick for the win there. There was a backstage segment in which Jerry Lawler told John Cena, listen, man, don't get involved in my match tonight, because if you do, that's only going to give CM Punk more firepower to come out, you know, next week and say, well, you needed John Cena's help to beat me, or, you know, to even fight me, blah, 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 blah.
Do you know what the point of a cage match is, by the way?
The point of a cage match?
Why do they have a cage match? What's the design? It's to keep people out of the match. The cage is leaving you two in the ring and nobody else can get in because there's a cage.
Yeah.
And he's got to tell somebody, don't come in the fucking match. Like, that's the whole point of a cage match to begin with, is nobody can interfere. So he's got to go out of his way to do a promo backstage, reminding everybody that, hey, you don't come in here.
Well, had they announced that by that point in the show? Had they announced that it was going to be a cage match? Cage? Right.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. No, well, some people in the chat room are saying they didn't announce it by that point. It was late in the show because they had people voting throughout Monday Night Raw, you know, whether it was going to be a tables match or a cage match or a no DQ match. So, you know, if they hadn't announced it by that point, then it would have made sense because nobody knew that it was going to be a cage match, you know? No, they announced it right after that. People in the chat room are saying, so that made sense up until that point. And the voting's rigged anyway, so we already talked about it. Zack Ryder and David.
John Cena came out anyway too, so
right.
What was the point of the segment?
Right, Zack Ryder and David Otunga. God, it was like the battle of the jobbers here, right? Man, poor Ryder. I feel so bad for Zack Ryder. He's the nicest guy too, man. He's the nicest guy. Let's see here, and we're to the main event now, man. It was CM Punk against Jerry Lawler. Cage match got 48% of the vote. Not that it matters anyways, right, dude? The match started off, CM Punk told Jerry Lawler, listen, take the first shot. They went back and forth with that, and then it was a decent match for what it was, man. There was one point earlier in the show, dude, where Jerry Lawler stood up and, you know, when he was announcing that, yeah, I'm going to accept the fight with CM Punk later tonight, where he announced a bunch of legends, right, from Memphis and you know, the territories back in the day, right? And nobody popped, dude. Nobody had any idea about the names that he mentioned, dude. And it was sad, bro. It was sad. I mean, it just goes to show how the WWE fan base these days, nobody remembers legends, you know? It's all kids, man, and nobody goes that.
Some of the names he said was like Bill Dundee and Jackie Fargo. I mean, do you even know who those guys are?
Yeah, but he brought up people like Dusty Rhodes, right? I mean, there was some names in there, dude, that people should have popped for, dude, and nobody popped, you know? Nobody popped. I don't know.
It's like you said, when they make it a PG product and they aim it towards kids, obviously there's not going to be a whole lot of history the fans aren't gonna have like a historical sense of what where the business started and how it got to where it is now. They're just aware of what's going on now, and that's it. They have no fucking back history,
Right, Punk won the match here with an Anaconda Vice, and then after the match was over, Punk locked him up again, grabbed a microphone, and said, "Are you gonna, apologize now, Jerry? Give me my apology now." And Lawler said, "Hell no, I'm not apologizing," or something like that. And then that's where John Cena came out, lift up the cage, and Raw kind of went off the air with, the cage eventually started to rise up, and CM Punk bailed out, and John Cena was left in the ring checking on Jerry Lawler. So that was Monday Night Raw from last night, man. It was...
Well, let me ask you this question. Since you actually sit through this whole fucking show every week, I don't know how you do it, by the way, but now that they're 3 hours, how is the show with it being 3 hours? Does it feel long as fuck ever? Because I remember looking at the clock a few times last night and thinking, God damn, this show's not even halfway over yet. It feels like it's gone forever. And I wasn't even watching it.
No, you're right, dude. You're right. When I watch, man, 3 hours is brutal. 3 hours is brutal,
dude. The commercials kill. Like, pay-per-views are 3 hours. Plus, there's no commercials to, like, fucking cool you down, and then you got to come back and hopefully get round back up. And what rounds you back up? Vicky Guerrero saying, "Excuse me," Santino having a cobra and into some shit,
Well, if it was a good product, I wouldn't mind it, man. But the product these days is tough to watch, man. It was tough to watch with 2 hours, and then they add a third hour, and it's like, oh man, dude, But
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, no. Well, it's my job, dude. That's why I have to watch it. It's your job too, but for some reason, I don't know. What?
I make sure to watch the stuff that we're going to break down and talk in depth. But do I really need to see Zack Ryder versus David Otunga? I mean, all you did was spend 8 seconds on that match. I don't need to watch that. What am I going to contribute? Yeah, that was a bad match. Continue. Go on to the next match. Like, I don't really need to watch it.
To do our live chat room, WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Get there, lots and lots of people in there tonight. What else do you want to talk about, man? We can talk about the mid-card stuff, but we've already basically touched on that, guys, that a lot of guys are pissed off these days, and there's not much that can be done, man. They speak up and they're jobbed out. They risk possibly being fired from the company, and it's just... It's not good, man. It's not good for mid-card guys these days,
Who do you blame? Jon Jones or UFC? And should Jon Jones have taken the Chael Sonnen fight? I want to know what you think of all this shit, because I haven't talked to you about it yet.
Man, well, here's the deal. Jon Jones was training for somebody completely different than Chael Sonnen, all right? And Chael offered the step up, no doubt, right? Chael offered the step up, and all the respect in the world for him, dude. He wants to fight Jon Jones. He doesn't like him. He's never liked him, man. Offered the step up and take the fight. But the fact is, Jon Jones was still training for a fight, man. So he's in tip-top shape, all right? He's in great shape. And not only that, but Chael Sonnen is just coming off a loss, right? And I feel like if Jon Jones were to get in there and fight with Chael, Jones would have walked all over him, dude. Not only that, but both of the guys are in good shape. I mean, Chael just came off fighting a fight, dude. So he's still in pretty good shape, dude. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to go. Jon Jones training for a fight. He's gold, bro. He's good to go. 8 days notice. I can understand his side of the story, man. It's a whole... I'd need to come up with a whole different game plan to face Chael, and I've only got 8 days to do it. But... on the other hand, it's Chael Sonnen, dude. Jon Jones would walk all over him, dude. So, and as far as Dana, that's the problem I have. That's the guy I have a problem with, is Dana White canceling the whole pay-per-view when numerous other guys offered to step up and take that fight. What the fuck? What happened to you?
Phone died. My bad.
Phone died. Oh, dude, I was the main issue I have, bro, is Dana White canceling that whole pay-per-view when numerous other guys offered to step up.
That's the thing. I mean, they could have put another fight in there, but they thought it had to be Jon Jones fighting somebody. The second Jon Jones turned down Sonnen, they could have done it. I mean, okay, so they had Sonnen, they had Vitor Belfort, all these guys are ready. Why don't you just, all right, Chael Sonnen versus Vitor Belfort, there's the main event. Then all these guys on the undercard still get paid,
Right.
You got to look even past that. All the money they spent on advertising, to the cable networks, to the fucking like the billboards they put up, to the pay-per-view people. You know what I mean? There's all this money that's already spent that they can't get back.
Right.
Well, like the prelims on FX. Now FX has to fill that time slot with something else and kill all the advertising they did for it. You know, that's all losses that Fox takes, FX takes, Fuel TV takes, you know, In Demand takes. Like, everybody takes this giant loss, and it's all going on Jon Jones. Now, Jon Jones is in the wrong, but it's not all his fault that the show was canceled. It's just his fault that he turned down a replacement fight. So everybody's a little bit to blame, but Jon Jones is just, he's been becoming such a heel lately that it was really bad for him to turn the fight down and have the whole cancellation. And, you know, he just got the Nike deal. It's just bad timing for him to turn down a fight. So yeah, everybody's to blame, I guess, but it's just unfortunate.
Well,
really
I think John,
the UFC, because look at the co-main event. It was Jake Ellenberger versus Jay Heron, and that's because Josh Koscheck got injured. But still, that was their semi-main event. Normally, if a main event gets canceled, they just bump the semi-main event up. But they made the mistake of having such a weak undercard that if somebody in the main event got injured, they were going to be fucked, and that's exactly what happened.
Right, and I think Jon Jones is getting a lot of unfair flack. I mean, I understand that you can be mad at the guy, but come on, man, it's not all his fault. I mean, it's his. Listen, he's got the right to take the fight or not take the fight, man, and he chose not to. And I feel like Dana White is the guy that should be, you know, a lot of the blame should be put on him. You know, the fighters that were on the undercard and the FX and the prelims and everything else, man, they're all out of payday. And Dana White had a lot of opportunities, man. Other guys that were willing to step up and take that fight, man, and Dana went and canceled the whole pay-per-view anyways. And by him he's the one that made the decision to cancel the pay-per-view, all right? And with that decision, he fucked over a lot of people, man. But why did he make that decision? Because Jon Jones, you know, wouldn't take a fight with Chael Sonnen. So, you can't place the blame on one person, you know? There's 2 or 3 different people that you can blame, and I feel like everybody's throwing it on Jon Jones, you know?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And after the fact, okay, so this is for the September 1st card, UFC 151. September 22nd, they got UFC 152, which already had a title fight, already had an undercard. They bumped Jon Jones over. He's the new main event of that show. And they're gonna do Jon Jones versus Lyoto Machida.
Right.
And then what happened? Machida turns that fight down. So now that fight ain't happening. So now it's Jon Jones versus Vitor Belfort. And Vitor Belfort is not, I mean, he's not even a 205-pound fighter, let alone a contender. So he's still fighting a bullshit fight. He might as well have taken the Chael fight. The whole thing is just weird. It's never happened before. UFC's never canceled an event with this little. No, they canceled in Canada last year, or earlier this year, whatever it was, with the I forget the fight shit. But yeah, but anyway, they never this close to an event. They canceled the whole fucking thing. So it's unprecedented, as they say.
All right, let's do live phone calls and rapid fire. We'll mix them up right now. 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. We've only got one phone line, so if you don't get through the first time, keep calling back, and we'll get to each and every one of you guys, well, as many as possible before we go off the air here tonight. We'll start with rapid fire. Ben Cade Hughes. Sure, you said someone named Anthony was going to quit 2 weeks ago. Did something change his mind? No, I never said Santino was going to quit the company. You know, they jobbed him out with the U.S. title, obviously at the SummerSlam pre-show. I'm sure you're talking about. I mean, Anthony is Santino Marella. And well, I'll leave it at that. But he's not happy with the company these days. So, caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, I have 2 quick things I want to say. But first off, hey, Boone, you got my vote, bro. So you did.
Thank you.
Oh, are you making me feel bad, bro?
Oh, you look baby face over here. Shut up and let me get a vote. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, did Michael Cole get heat on him? I read because when CM Punk did the Rock Bottom on Jerry Lawler, that they wanted Cole to plug the Rock match, and he didn't say anything about it?
Yeah, we put it up on the website today. CM Punk hit a rock bottom last night on Jerry Lawler, and Michael Cole was supposed to address it and did not. Basically, no-sold it, and they're eventually building towards a Rock Cena, or not Rock Cena, Rock Punk match, and it was a big spot during the match, and Michael Cole failed to,
That's why Punk's winning at Night of Champions, by the way, because they're building the Punk Rock. But anyways,
oh, get out of here,
you think
dude.
You think Jim Ross would have missed that call? Because I don't. I mean, goddamn, how obvious can you be? CM Punk's doing a rock bottom, and you don't even mention a word about it. How does that even? I would do that if I was an announcer for the match. You would make sure to hit it.
Well, where was Vince last night? Where was Vince? All the heat's going on Michael Cole. Unless Vince wasn't in the headset last night, you would think Vince would have told him, hey, listen, man. You've got to talk about that. You've got to put that over that he just hit a rock bottom. So I'm guessing Vince either wasn't there or wasn't on the headset last night.
Yeah, but even if he wasn't in the headset, somebody else should be. There's always somebody producing the announcement.
Well, somebody
fucked up.
Right, somebody was in the headset last night. Who that was, I don't know. But you're right, somebody fucked up. Anything else?
And then just one more thing. Yeah, the cage match. I don't even think they used the cage at all, so I don't know what the point was. And John Cena's over dramatic acting is so fucking terrible. It's not even funny to me. I don't know what you guys think, but do you see how over dramatic he was?
It's very Hulk Hogan-esque. I mean, that's who he's supposed to be, is this era's Hulk Hogan, And the cage was used, wasn't it? Because didn't Punk get busted open during the match by getting thrown into the cage or something?
Yeah, the thing about the cage, though, think about this, guys. When people are flipping through the TV, right, and, they're going past all the channels, they're looking for something to watch, and if they tune in, man, not only that, but the cage match was right at 11 o'clock Eastern time, right? When one show ends at, 10:59, people are flipping through the channels to find out, hey, what else is on? If you're flipping through Monday Night Raw, or you go past the USA Network and you see, holy shit, dude, there's a cage around the ring. It just looks cool when you're flipping through the channels, and it's basically,
it seems more important.
Right, it seems more important, and it's basically a way to draw people in, where if you're flipping by USA Network last night, you're saying, holy shit, dude, there's a cage match right now, and the hope is that you're gonna stick around. All right, let me do some rapid fire segments. Jesse Young.
They had to keep Cena out so that Punk could get a bunch of heat beating on defenseless Lawler, and they needed a way to justify Cena not being able to make the save, so that was the case there, too.
Jesse Young, do you think the Buffalo Bills will pick up Terrell Owens? I think Terrell's fucked, man. I think, I don't think anybody's going to pick him up before the season. I mean, college football starts this Thursday night, this Thursday, right? And then this weekend you've got all the big games, and then the following week, 2 weeks from this weekend, you've got the NFL season. I've got 2 fantasy drafts. I've got one coming up on Saturday and another one coming up on Sunday, man. So we'll see how I make up. But I think if anybody picks up T.O., I think it'll be during the season. If somebody gets injured or something like that, then somebody will go after T.O., but I don't think it's going to be before the season. We're going to be talking about football here on WZR Radio, man. It's starting up, man. It's starting up. Couple more weeks. Can't wait, baby. My Bills look good, too.
Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford. Let's get the fucking Detroit season finally. Goddamn it. Last year was close. We made it to the wild card. Let's get all the way this year.
We've got the Bills have a great team, all right? They're a really good team. Our main problem is our quarterback, bro, Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? And we just signed him to like a 6-year deal, millions and millions of dollars. He's a franchise guy, bro. I mean, they like him, and they've got trust in him, but he sucks, bro. And then we got rid of Vince Young, and we picked up Tavares Jackson, who is better than Vince Young, but it doesn't matter, man. He's going to be a backup, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is still our starter. And I don't know. I think we'd be fine if we had anybody but Ryan Fitzpatrick. I place all the blame on Fitzpatrick, but we'll see what happens, man. We got a much better team than we have in recent years. Chase Kramer, did you hear? Matt Boone is the best part of WZR Radio. Huh.
You want me to make a comment about that? I think it speaks for itself. Continue.
Lorenzo Dozier. Not sure if you've seen Mercedes in the ring before, but if you did, what are your thoughts on our indie competition? I'm impressed. I have not seen her, dude. I'll go on YouTube though and check out some of her stuff. But as of now, no, I haven't seen her, man. Alexis Tyson, she's down in NXT. Used to be called FCW, but they rebranded it, and Developmental is now called NXT. Alexis Tyson, did you hear the same crowd shout something about TNA during the Triple H speech? That's what Boone said, man. But I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
Lance.
I don't know. There's something. Triple H said something. And he said, "Go to TNA," or "You should go to TNA," something like that. But yeah, I mean, I heard it loud and clear. It was right on the. It was on camera side, and then like in the front row.
You guys can call us up right now, 518-712-3070, 518-712-3070. Lance Winter, question for Boone. If they can get Chael Sonnen on short notice, why didn't they get another big-name guy to fill in for Jones?
That's what I was saying. I mean, they had Vitor Belfort available to take a fight. They could have just put Chael Sonnen versus Vitor in there. But I don't know. I really don't know why. It seemed. I think UFC just figured Jon Jones. They don't think Chael Sonnen is a big player. They think Anderson Silva saw his fucking paper. I
don't either. I'm not, dude. I'm not sold on Chael Sonnen, dude. I don't think he's. I think he's a shit talker, and he ain't shit in a UFC octagon, bro. I love his.
Do you care about his fights?
I love
Are you excited when he's fighting?
Yeah, but it's more because of his talking. It's not.
You want to see him get his ass kicked, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, dude, he sells pay-per-views. He's a great talker, dude. Dude could be a pro wrestler. You know what I'm saying? But he sucks as a fighter. I think he sucks as a fighter, but the dude can sell pay-per-views and he can cut a promo. So you got to give him credit.
He doesn't suck as a fighter. I mean, he doesn't suck as a fighter. He beat Anderson Silva's ass for 5 rounds the first fight. The second fight, he was schooling him in the first round, and then he made a dumb mistake with a spinning backflip in the second round. And he paid for it because Anderson's good. He's still good. I mean, he beat Bisping, he beat Stan, he beat Nate Marquardt, he's beaten everybody else except Silva. And he can talk shit, he can sell a pay-per-view. So he should have just thrown Chael Sonnen and somebody in there as a main event. But UFC didn't see that as a main event. They figured it had to be Jon Jones.
James Lehman, so who is really going to get the push this year? Sandow, Ziggler, Barrett, Ryback, or Rhodes? I'll tell you what.
That group, I'd say Barrett.
Damian Sandow, they are real high on him. Right now you're seeing the very early stages of a major push for him, as we put up on the website today. Dolph Ziggler, he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, so eventually he's going to cash in, probably sooner than later. So he's in for a big push. Wade Barrett, we're going to put an article up on the website as soon as we go off the air here tonight. He is going right back into the world title picture. He's scheduled to be in world title matches on house shows, so he's in for a big push when he returns. You guys have seen the vignettes that have been airing on Raw as well, so he's in for a big push. Ryback, they're high on him. Eventually they're going to do a major angle where, you know, the jobbers are eventually, you can only go with that for so long, and then eventually somebody's going to have to come in, and they're going to have to do a major feud. So you've got him, and Cody Rhodes, I'm on the fence about him, but all the rest, they're your new talents for the remainder of this year. Sandow, Ziggler, Barrett, and Ryback, no doubt. Kevin Espergesi, with the recent storyline with Cody and Sin Cara, do you expect a hair versus mask match sometime this year? I didn't think about that. I don't think they're going to take the mask off Sin Cara. You've only got 2 masked guys in WWE, Mysterio and Sin Cara, so they're not going to unmask them. But a hair versus mask stipulation? Yeah, no doubt, dude. Cody Rhodes going bald, I could definitely see that. Definitely see that.
Yeah, those are big in Mexico, hair versus mask match, and for that reason, they don't want to take the mask off a guy. But if they put the mask up in a stipulation, people will watch. The same way Trump McMahon hair versus hair sold. Everybody knew McMahon was getting his head shaved, but you know, you wanted to see that, and if you didn't, oh shit, Trump's getting shaved. But you know, so either way, you win. You get something out of it. So.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, I was the last caller, guys. I guess since nobody else wants to call up, I actually had something else I wanted to ask you.
I see that, man. Nobody's calling. I mean, some weeks you get non-stop callers, and then this week it's like, what is going on? But what's going on?
Another thing that you posted, was it true that when Triple H was cutting his promo that they said that they thought maybe, or Mick Foley thought he was taking a shot at him when he's like, I don't want to be a guy that hangs around too long and destroys my body and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I've been talking about it for months and months and months here. Triple H has never been a big fan of Mick Foley, and you know, the stuff Triple H was saying last night about, you know, like you said, man, I don't want to be that guy that doesn't know when to hang it up. Mick Foley came out and basically said on Twitter today that it was a direct shot at me, and Mick knew it. And if you were watching that, you knew he was taking a shot at people like Hogan and Flair and people like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's who he was referring to in the promo last night. And there's always been legit tension between Triple H and Foley. You know, it's well documented. We've had it up on the website. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio.
You can't say always, because when Foley and Triple H were doing their program, they were fine. That was in the Attitude Era, though. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, right. But there's well-documented heat between those. There always has been, man, at least in the last, 5-10 years. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what do you guys think of John Cena losing his Money in the Bank cash?
Well, I like the fact that it's on Dolph Ziggler right now. I mean, Ziggler's a new star, man. He's definitely the future of WWE. And I think eventually when he cashes in, he's going to win the title. And then that's where you're going to see his WWE or world title run. And then we'll see where they go from there. But Ziggler is definitely the future of WWE. Don't you think, Boone? I mean, the dude's got mic skills, man. He's a great in-ring worker. I mean, push that guy, and they are. They've got him with the briefcase, so.
Well, to be the future of WWE, I don't know. That's a big statement. He'll definitely be a player. I mean, he'll be one of the top guys.
Right, well.
And yeah, it'll be the world title he gets. He ain't getting that WWE title. That's all tied up now for Punk, Rock, and Cena, so. Yeah.
Right, yeah, it would be the world title if you were to cash in anytime soon. It wouldn't be the WWE title. Not now, at least. Where did I leave off? Brandon Dub Blevins. Will we see Matt Morgan debut at the Royal Rumble? The deal with Matt Morgan and Ric Flair is they're going to bring them both in. All right, Ric Flair's coming back to WWE. Matt Morgan's coming back to WWE. They're simply waiting for the TNA versus WWE lawsuit to end. WWE has gone on record and told the courts that they are not interested in any TNA talents, any former TNA talents. And by telling the courts that, if they were to go out and sign Ric Flair, even Ric Flair is mentioned in the lawsuit as one of the guys that WWE had courted and wanted to basically sign. So they're holding off until this lawsuit is done, and then you're going to see Matt Morgan, Ric Flair, and even a guy like Alex Shelley coming into WWE. But we're just waiting right now. I mean, could it be at the Royal Rumble? Yeah, it all depends on when the lawsuit ends between TNA and WWE. We don't know when that's going to end, and the court process can be a long process. So have to wait and see how it plays out. But both of those guys are coming in, and Alex Shelley too. Anthony Russell Letts. Heard Triple H is high on Damian Sandow, and he'll be given a huge push soon. You think the main reason why he's so high on him is because his character and Tripp's Hunter Hearst Helmsley character are pretty much the same. It's a possibility. I mean, not exactly the same, obviously, but they're similar. And Sandow's got.
Yeah, I mean, Damian Sandow was more of like an intellectual, I'm very smart kind of guy, right? Because Triple H's gimmick was he was a rich snob. Is that what Sandow is?
No, he's more, well, he's snobby, and he's more of a, like you said, more of like a smart,
I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, right. But they're similar, yeah, no doubt. And he's got the look too. Sandow's a big guy, tall guy, got a good body on him. So I mean,
and he wears a robe too, doesn't he? Like a big fucking extravagant robe or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, Triple H had one of those. He had a big purple one.
Yeah, Kelly, what's up, man?
Yeah, it's a quick question. Since the Dudley Boys haven't re-signed with TNA yet, do you ever see them re-signing with TNA or going back to WWE?
They've only, as of last week, they only had 3 weeks left on their contract. So if they're going to re-sign with TNA, they got to do something quick, man, within the next week or two. And as of last word, they were talking, but, nothing had been signed as of this weekend. So
You picture Bully Ray in WWE as a singles guy. He could jump right in the main event picture.
He could, bro. Dude, he's one of the best promo cutters right now in anywhere in pro wrestling.
And he works his ass off in the ring. He always has good matches, especially when you do the hardcore battle brawls around the ring. So he's fucking, and he would, as soon as he come back, he would get that nostalgia fucking reaction. So yeah, he could be big.
He could be huge in WWE, but he's also a guy that would be coming over from TNA, and you know how WWE looks down on the, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Paul Konorkowski, is there going to be an NWO reunion, and will Shawn Michaels take part in it? I don't think so. No. Kevin Nash came out on Twitter and, hinted at a possible NWO reunion. That's Kevin Nash on Twitter, man. Don't read anything into that,
He's trying to start a buzz so they'll do one and he can have a little run.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. He's trying to start some buzz to get WWE or somebody interested. Chris Ross, if all Triple H, Taker, Lesnar, Punk, Cena, Rock, possibly Stone Cold are going to be at WrestleMania, who do you think fights who? Well, they could do Triple H versus Lesnar in a rematch. They could do... I think they're going to do Rock and Punk at WrestleMania, and Rock and Cena at the Royal Rumble. Boone disagrees. Boone says we're going to see Cena Rock in a rematch at WrestleMania. I don't see it happening. They built up WrestleMania 28 once in a lifetime, right? Rock and Cena main eventing WrestleMania 29 after the whole build-up to once in a lifetime last year. I don't see it happening. You're going to have a fresh, new main event for WrestleMania 29, and it's going to be Rock Punk.
Well, listen, I hope you're right, and that's why I hope I'm wrong, because they did build this once in a lifetime. But the way things are structured, Punk's holding that title. He's going to beat Cena as night champion. He's going to lose it to The Rock at Royal Rumble, and then Rock's going to defend it at WrestleMania against either Punk in a rematch or Cena in a rematch. So I would say they would do the Cena one. That's my opinion.
Cena loses it, all right? Now keep this in mind, too, all right? Cena came in to CM Punk's hometown of Chicago, right? And beat him for the title. Or no, and lost. CM Punk won the title. CM Punk came into Chicago and defeated John Cena for the title, right? Now, for Night of Champions, they're going to be in John Cena's hometown. So CM Punk's going to go, and John Cena's going to win the title in his hometown.
Explain to me then why Punk is turning heel, why he's talking shit about The Rock, why he's doing the Rock Bottom, why is he on Cole for not putting over the Rock Bottom strong, if they're not going to have Punk versus Rock at Royal Rumble.
Because it'd be a slow build all the way until WrestleMania. They're going to do Cena Rock at Royal Rumble, man. That's just my feel. Hopefully, like you said, dude, hopefully they do it. Hopefully they do Cena Rock at Royal Rumble in a rematch from WrestleMania 28, all right? And then we go into WrestleMania, and we've got a fresh new main event, CM Punk versus The Rock for the WWE title. Rock will be champion going into WrestleMania 29, and then CM Punk will win the title from Rock at WrestleMania 29.
I don't know, man. And by the way, isn't The Rock, did he pull a hamstring, I read?
He did.
WrestleMania match?
It was only a partial tear, though, dude. We put it up on the website. It was a partial tear of a hamstring. Nobody knew. I mean, The Rock was limping backstage at WrestleMania 28, but he didn't say anything like it was a major injury and kind of kept it quiet. And then he left WWE after WrestleMania, and he went
on Raw the next night, and he didn't limp down to the ring.
He didn't limp, yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Nobody had any idea, man. Came out on Raw the following night, like you said, didn't limp. And then, during the NBC special that they aired this past Saturday night, he came out on Twitter and said, I suffered a hamstring tear during that match. And people were like, what?
Can you imagine how much that scares the shit out of Hollywood, though, knowing that that's what they didn't want him wrestling for in the first place? What if you get injured and we've got you scheduled for a fucking movie that's going to cost us $80 million and you're not able to do it because you got hurt in some fucking fake match?
Right.
Now, he just got injured and he's going back for at least 2 more matches, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. They're going to be like, oh, man, this motherfucker is going to really screw our shit up.
That may have been part of the reason. I know he came out and said it on Saturday night, but that may have been part of the reason because he went to film, what was the film? Pain and Gain, right? Gain and Pain.
Where he's playing a bodybuilder or some shit?
Something like that, yeah. Maybe he didn't want to, he didn't want to highlight it. knowing that he was going to have to go in and film a movie directly after that, but doesn't do anything now that he came out and revealed it, because Hollywood's still going to say, well, wait a minute, like you said, now you're going back to WWE, you could possibly get injured, and you could fuck our whole shit up, dude, with movie filming and things like that. So
yeah, a lot of money goes into, hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes go into one movie, and that's not just saying what they pay him, that's the advertising, that's the budget for all the production that goes in the movie. There's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, and if he gets injured, it's all out the window.
Exactly. We gotta go, man. It's 10 o'clock Eastern time. I got to get the results of this poll. We're gonna go do that, and then let me give you some WWE Smackdown spoilers. They just started taping this in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We already gave you guys the Saturday Morning Slam and the WWE Superstar spoilers, but SmackDown opened up. It was Sheamus came out, cut a promo, and was interrupted by Damian Sandow. Sandow comes out and basically shits all over the crowd, shits all over Sheamus, and Booker T comes out and announces that Sheamus versus Damian Sandow is going to be the main event for WWE SmackDown tonight. Rey Mysterio defeated Cody Rhodes. The anger management replay video from Monday Night Raw, they aired that. Caitlyn defeated Natalia. Eve Torres was on commentary here. There was a backstage segment with Booker T. He says AJ's crazy and is off her rocker over on Raw. Sheamus defeated Damian Sandow, so that's not the main event. Sheamus defeated Damian Sandow by countout, and Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel against the Primetime Players is in progress right now. One more phone call. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Yeah, I noticed you're about to leave, but since you guys had a late start, I thought you might go a little bit more. But anyways, I did find out, been looking on the YouTube, and the segment where Triple H is talking, and there's someone that says, I'd rather be on TNA, I found it, and I have it ready for you to go. Is it okay if I turn my speakers up so you can hear it, or do you want me to just tell you where it's at?
You can, turn the live stream off and then play what you want to play.
All right. Let me turn the live stream off.
What are you playing again?
Triple H is speaking. Triple H is speaking, and there's a fan in the audience, and a lot of people have been talking about it, where they say, I'd rather be on TNA. It's when he's giving a speech.
All right, yeah,
a lot of people have been talking about it.
Yeah, we can see if we can hear it. Put the phone up next to your speakers, and we'll see if we can hear it.
All right, hold on, here we go.
That certain anyone will care.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I put it on pause, just make sure it's fine. All right.
And I can honestly say that for my entire career, I feel like every time I've walked through that curtain, all of you have cared. And that's got me through all of it. When I was exhausted from the road, when I was broken, when I was beat up, when I was crippled, when muscles were torn, when bones were broken, what got me through all of it was all of you and all of your reactions, and for that I can honestly say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Here we go. Here.
Thank you for letting me play the game.
Wow.
You all gave me the reaction every night, and for that I will never, ever forget each and every one of you. And hopefully...
Were you able to hear it, or...
No, I didn't. What? A fan yells TNA or something?
It was...
I gotta go. I didn't hear it, bro. I got no idea. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Maybe I'll put it up on the website if I can find it. Send me an email, man. Webmaster@ProWrestlingScoops.com, and I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it up on the website for you guys, and we'll kind of we'll go from there. All right, that's going to do it.
Exactly what it is. It's what he says. There's a thought that goes through everybody's head where they doubt themselves right before they come out the curtain. He says there's a thought that goes through everybody's head, and the guy yells out real loud, "I'd rather be in TNA," and that's supposed to be the thought going through their head, I guess.
I gotcha. All right, here's the results of the poll. Shoot, hold on 1 second, dude. Hold on. Fuck. Hold on a minute.
Fill it up?
Yeah. Hold on.
I would just want to reiterate what I said now at number one, which is that you're a professional dumper.
I'm a professional dumper? What do you mean?
Yeah, you screw up a poll.
No. I didn't screw up the poll. There's something going on here. Hold on a minute.
What's going on? What's going on?
Fuck, man.
Yeah, what's going on?
Fuck. All right. Damn. All right. Let me go to get this poll. All right. We asked you earlier in the show who you thought was going to win WWE's Night of Champions pay-per-view. Was it going to be CM Punk or John Cena? With 65% of the votes, CM Punk retains the WWE title, and with 35% of the votes, John Cena does not win the WWE title. So there we go. CM Punk retains.
You can kiss 65% of my ass because I told you so.
Yeah. Well, listen. If John Cena doesn't win the title at Night of Champions, it's going to happen before the Royal Rumble. It may happen at Survivor Series in November. It may happen at Hell in a Cell in October. I think going into the Royal Rumble, John Cena is going to be WWE Champion. He's going to face The Rock in a rematch from WrestleMania 28. The Rock wins the title with the Royal Rumble, goes on to face CM Punk for the WWE title at WrestleMania 29. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
That's only possible, too. Yeah, well, that still results in Punk Rock having a match, so
right.
That makes sense. I didn't think of that, but yeah. That's possible.
Alrighty, we're out of here. That'll do it. Well, sorry for the problems earlier tonight, guys. It's been crazy, man, but we got everything fixed. I will fix the chat page here by next Tuesday night. We'll have everything fixed. I'm going to add the poll on WZROnline.com/chat as well, so everything will be fixed and ready to go. We're lucky we got to put on a show tonight, man, to be honest with you guys. So we'll be back next Tuesday night. Boone, have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, you too.
And that'll do it for Matt Boone.
That's me.
That's Ryan Clark.
Hey, that's him.
Saying see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com.